What's up, family? It's your girl T Love, social media, the queen. Today I'm gonna be talking about a little bit about men that beat women in front of children. Men who beat women in front of children are cowards. They don't have no respect. And a lot of times, some of these women who mess with these men who are just no goddamn good. And I wanted to do a video like this before. I think I did a video about abusive men, but I didn't do a video about abusive men who beat you in front of kids. You hear a lot of that going on in America. You have to be careful what kind of men you bring in your life because they'll beat you in front of your kids. In this picture you see right here is a man beating a woman upside her head in front of a man. A lot of times, women stay in domestic violence relationships. They don't know when to get out of them. And sometimes when you're in relationships like that, you have to be really careful because he can abuse you and your kids. A lot of women put up with that bullshit. If you know anybody that's out there going through that kind of stuff, you need to give them, make sure, even if it's not your job to get involved in that, you might want to get involved, because a man should not hit a woman. I don't understand why so many women want to be putting up with that kind of shit. Letting a man hit you, putting you through all this shit and just being abusive. And see, when you're in a domestic violence situation, especially if you got kids, and he's beating you in front of your children, there's a lot comes with that. Because some of these women who get into these situations allow men to beat their kids too. There's no way in the world that you should be in a relationship like that is abusive. And then, who's to say? Every time he beats you, he feels sorry about that. And hear me out. I've known girls, females, that were in abusive relationships. And, hold on for a second. I know girls that was in abusive relationships, and they would stay and say, well, he's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get, it's going to get better. No, it's not going to get better. It's not. And another thing, I hate when a woman sit up here and say, oh, if he beat me, that means he loved me. That doesn't mean that he loved you. No man, no woman should have to have a motherfucking man put his hands on you. A man that put his hands on a woman, especially if she got in front of her kids, is a coward-ass nigga. If you don't get out of an abusive relationship, your children can wind up seeing you die by the hands of a male abuser. Just think for a second. Ladies, we got to do better than this. We got to do better. I've never really experienced nothing like that, but you could tell an abuser. You can tell an abuser. Especially if he's grabbing you too tight and he's not who he say he is, and something is wrong with him, you need to get away from him immediately. Because you don't want to wind out getting laying down and one day he just come up and beat your ass or pull out a knife and stab you up or shoot you and then forget what he done and you die. We have to stop putting ourselves in this kind of positions, ladies, because it's not good. You got kids, your children don't need to see you go through no abuse relationships. And I'm speaking to my women right here. This is not nothing that I normally usual, but it's the truth. A man don't supposed to beat a woman. Real men don't beat women. Real men get up and handle their business. I don't give a damn if the nigga got tendencies to my reflexes did that. I choked you out. No. Any man that put his hands on a woman is a bitch. You back smacking her, backhanding her, all kinds of shit in front of her children. This picture gave me a whole lot to look at. And it just don't make no sense. A lot of women stay in these relationships because the dick is good. A lot of women stay in these relationships because they feel like they need a man. A lot of these women stay in the relationships because what kind of income the man is bringing in. A lot of women that does that and still be fucked over, come to work with black eyes, come outside with black eyes, put sunglasses on and all kinds of shit. You know, if they're in an abusive relationship, you just know. They wear glasses. And I'm not talking about glasses like prescription glasses, like the ones I wear or anybody else. Or reading glasses. These women are wearing shades. You know what I'm talking about. Shades that women be wearing when they get their ass, when they get beat from men. You got to get away from them kind of suckers. Because if you don't, you're going to wind up dead. Real men don't abuse women. They take care of their women. Putting your hand on a woman is the worst thing in the world. Those kind of men somewhere seen a lot of domestic violence going on in their households. And that's why they abuse women. I don't have no sympathy for a nigga that put his hands on a woman. At all. Especially the kids that see that shit. And when the kids see it, some kids be afraid to even come home. Even when the children will try to stop the man from putting his hands on their mama, he'll backsmack the child. So ladies, we got to do better with kind of men we bring around. I'm not going to hold y'all too long, man. I'm going to just say what I had to say, man. We have to not bring this kind of activity involved around kids. Because children see too much as it is in this fucked up, corrupt world. So we really need to put our foot down. If you're in an abusive relationship, my advice to you is get out of it now. Because you don't deserve that trifling shit. You don't deserve it. You don't. I'm not going to hold y'all long, but I'm going to say this one thing. If you're in an abusive relationship like that, please get out of it. Because if not, I don't want to get on the news and hear one of my women dying by the hands as a result of abuse. Some of these relationships, even not even with having kids, some of these abusive relationships, domestic violence relationships are getting out of hand. And it's hitting hard because these bitch ass niggas are just evil. A man that does that is mental in the mind. I don't care what you say. He's mental in the mind. He has no mind, so he just do anything and takes advantage. Good women, or women period, shouldn't have to suffer by the hands of being abused from a man. Especially when she have kids or not. Hope this video gave y'all some clarity. I'm T-Love, social media queen. I'm going to make these videos better for y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting the channel. I will be back next time.